Hey guys, it's Ken from OK Portugal, and welcome to another episode of Portugal Farm Life. Coming up in this week's vlog episode, Joaquim brings his large flock of dairy sheep to our farm to munch down on our fields, and unfortunately they tuck into some of our trees. The summer season has brought new crops to our fields and new friends to visit us too. And Fernanda has given us a bunch of really interesting plants for Gina to make herbal tea with. I get myself a fancy new toy to help keep a watchful eye on the farm, and before I forget, I also fill up our dipping pool for the hot weather. We also get some amazing news about our Portuguese language classes that we've been doing for the last 6 months, which end in some celebration. Now this week I'm going to be answering a question that I get asked a lot, and it's how safe is it to live in Portugal? How safe is it to live in a farm? How secure is it? So we're going to be answering that in a bit. But first, I wanted to show you this. Now would you believe that it's the middle of summer and we've got greenery on the farm? I mean, this is very unusual. Look at all this green grass growing. So we've got tons and tons of this all over the place. So 2024 has been kind of a strange year. We had a really dull and dreary winter, and this summer so far has actually been much cooler, much wetter. We actually did have rain. I think we even had rain last night, which is really bizarre. So, well, the farm is a lot greener than normal. So our neighbor Joaquim is going to bring his sheep across, and they're going to have a good old munch on this grass. Nice, let's go and have a look. So this is my neighbors Joaquim and Fernanda, and they've got a bunch of their sheep. Oh, good. Tudo. And this is their little dog, Rapazot. Rapazot! It's like part sheepdog. It's a very, very sweet dog, this one. This is going to drive our dogs crazy because our dogs are obviously in the farmhouse here. All right, so now we're going to see our dogs do some guarding, because obviously we've got this little dog that's going to come past. I think Rapazot should hopefully be clever enough to not come and walk straight past. But yeah, just look at this, hey? Summertime. I know it's not looking so green here, but just wait until we start getting into like the lower fields. It's really green. Hello, Mimosa. Yeah, so here are our doggies. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. Shh, 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 shh. Wow, this is a really unusual sight for summertime. To have greenery. Usually by this time of year, it's like just completely dusty. When we first got the farm, we didn't have this fence around our farmhouse. So Joaquim wasn't really able to take the sheep on the fields. So he was just using our fields to grow grass and then obviously cut and bale the grass. But now it's quite nice to be able to actually have the sheep walking around again. And actually they're going to do something quite handy for us here, because we've got all these little shoots on the bottom of the olive trees. And so they're going to munch all of these little shoots off the bottom here. So this is actually quite good. And then we don't have to break them off ourselves. And while they go about it, they're obviously leaving little sheep poos all over the place that are going to help fertilize the soil. So, like people have asked me before, like, oh, why don't you just get Joaquim's sheep to cut the grass for you? It's not really that simple. You have to keep a good eye on them, as you can see in the background here, because they start to eat stuff that they're not supposed to. So for instance, if we were to just have sheep just walking around, they would actually start getting quite high up in the trees here and eating all of the greenery away. And also, earlier on when I was walking through the vineyard, if you allowed them into the vineyard, they would just eat all the bloody leaves off there. So yeah, it's not really that simple. It is kind of like a job to walk around with them and make sure they're not eating the wrong thing. Yeah, I think these sheep are really appreciating this, because all the other fields that Joaquim's been putting them on are sort of all dusty. They've eaten absolutely everything, and it's just our farm that's got a lot of greenery left in it still. So in this episode, I wanted to talk about how safe and how secure it is living in Portugal. You know, I come from South Africa, as you can probably tell by the accent, and obviously South Africa has a reputation for being a very sort of dangerous place. There's a lot of violent crime, a lot of organized crime, a lot of petty crime. If you live there, I think when I was there, it was like at least once a month that there was something that would happen, like a car break-in or something got stolen from my house or something like that. So you kind of a victim of crime quite often in South Africa, and I get a lot of messages from people from different parts of the world, and they ask how safe it is to live in Portugal. And it's a really good question. I mean, I thought about that before I was here as well. Now, as you can see, I live in rural Portugal, so I'm just surrounded by farmland and it's all nice and peaceful out here. Now, if you live in South Africa and you live rurally like this, it can actually be quite dangerous. There's a lot of people targeting farms and farmers and things like that. So, for me, I always wanted to have a farm. I wanted to live in a farm, but I was always worried about becoming a victim on a farm, So living in England, I couldn't afford a big farm. I couldn't afford the space. And so Portugal, it was quite important to me that it was a nice, safe place. Here we go. So now we're in the bottom field. They found all the nice longer grass. And as the field stretches down in this direction over here, the grass gets longer and longer. It's like the lowest point of the land. So there's lots of stuff here for them to munch on. So yeah, so to answer the very first question about is it safe to live on a farm in Portugal, it most certainly is. In the 5 years that we've been here, we haven't had any crime that's happened to us personally. I have heard of a couple of isolated incidents where around the sort of local village area, someone had broken into a barn and someone had stolen some, some tools and things like that. It's very sort of like opportunistic crime. I think it was also in time with some seasonal workers that were in the area. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, in comparison to where I come from, it's very, very, very small scale sort of petty stuff, petty crime. Now, obviously, we are living quite far away from like big towns and cities and things like that. And I think as you get closer to like cities and towns and, places where there's more densely populated, then you are going to have more sort of instances of crime. Yeah, I go to Lisbon every once in a while. I absolutely love going to the cities. And one of the things I love doing there is going out at nighttime, because there's not much nightlife here, like in the middle of nowhere. So, when I get a chance to go to Lisbon, I go out, I stay out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking around in the streets of Lisbon at nighttime, sometimes on my own, and I don't feel at all threatened. I don't feel at all like endangered or anything like that. I've never had any issues. I know that in big cities and stuff here, there's sort of petty crime. So you're going to have like pickpockets and things like that. And I think you might also have the chance of being mugged or something like that. Obviously, if you're not very street smart and you don't, look out for yourself properly. If you present yourself as a victim, but yeah, really, I haven't had much issues there. Another place where you might find that there is crime as well is if you go to the coastal areas, like, if you go to like the touristy coastal areas. When we were visiting friends in Porto, they had a beach house near the coast. It was right on the coast. And they told us not to park our car outside overnight because we might find it on bricks when we got back. So, there wasn't like crime as in you had to worry. But if you left something outside, if you left your car outside, they could break into it or they could steal your tires or something like that. So, that type of crime exists everywhere. It exists in England, it exists definitely in South Africa, and, around the sort of touristy places in Portugal. I think crime like that also exists. Right, so I'm just coming back to the house quickly, and I thought I'd say hello to Gina.
Hello.
And Emma. Emma's one of our friends. She's been staying here for a while. And instead of just pointing the camera at Emma, I'll sit down here with you. I'm doing a little video on security or how safe it feels to be in Portugal. Like, people have asked, like, does it feel safe to stay on a farm and is the country safe? Mm-hmm. And as you're traveling around at the moment, like on your own in a van, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, Portugal feels really safe. Like, I don't feel like I've been uncomfortable many places. I think the only time I felt sort of uncomfortable or vulnerable was like more in like a city.
Okay.
And you've got like a lot of hustle and bustle going around, and like obviously you don't know who's who. You're on your own.
Exactly. And if you come from a place where there's maybe crime, then you think that it might be happening there. Like,
exactly. Yeah. And then you hear like little noises. You're like, ooh, so you need like look out the window. But it's fine. It's mostly in your mind, I guess. But it does happen.
Have you ever had any like break-ins in your car in Portugal or anything stolen or anything like that? Cool.
No,
it was the same as us.
Yeah, so I think I left my purse behind once, and I got a phone call from the bank.
Wow.
To say someone's found your wallet and they've dropped it off at the police station, so you just got to go in there and pick it up. So
wow.
Like, okay. They went in there and they were like, here it is. I was like, oh.
With your driver's license and everything. Wow, imagine if you lost all of that. Yeah. And did it have money in still? Or?
Yeah, so I think I'd had like €7 in it. It's still there. So.
Wow. That's amazing. Cool. Thanks. Well, anyway, there you go. So we haven't had any problems. Emma hasn't had any problems. And it's not just the dogs looking after us. It's guardian angels.
Yeah, exactly.
So Gina, Fernanda brought you something very interesting. I've kind of dumped it here. Now I'm going to tell Gina what it's all about. Basically, Fernanda was telling me that you can make tea out of some of the herbs that grow on the farm. And I didn't quite catch all of the names, but this one over here, I'm pretty sure she said is Esteve. And if you give that a whiff, I think it's got quite a lemony almost scent. So this is like the Esteve one. And then we have this one here, which has got these really beautiful little like purple like flowers, and I have no idea what it is. It's got like a different, well, it's got a completely different sort of floral smell.
Do you remember that there was a lady who comments on our videos sometimes whose grandparents used to own this place?
Yes.
And she said there used to be a bush with purple flowers that they used to make tea out of.
Ah, it must be that. Well, she still watches our video. I think her name's Maria. And Maria, if you're watching,
can you tell us what that plant is?
can you tell us if this is the tea plant? So yeah. There's this third one, and this is like the strongest smelling one of them all. I'm not sure what it is, because the leaves, I think Fernanda picked this for a while she was looking after the sheep. It almost looks like nettle, but it's not, it doesn't have any stingers on it.
It doesn't smell like nettle.
No, it definitely doesn't, yeah, and it's got a very
strong.
Very, like a lemony sort of smell almost.
Like almost a lemony mint. I thought there was one like that down by the big well when we first moved here, a lemony mint. But I'm going to make a tea out of it when I've finished working.
Yeah.
If you stop interrupting me.
Yeah. Let me know when you've made the tea, and I will. I'll hopefully get it on camera.
Yeah. Can I just say that other really exciting thing is I got an up-down desk yesterday.
Oh yeah, check this out.
Excited.
Check this out. Oh, sorry, I've put this on your laptop.
No, it's fine.
So Gina's got this new sexy desk that basically just goes up and down, and it means that she can stand and work.
It means I can pretend that I'm a little person writing.
Yeah, she can stand and work, and also we're going to be getting a little treadmill that goes underneath her, and then she's going to be able to walk. She's going to be able, well, because she can't walk to work, so she's going to walk at work.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's nice, and I love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll leave you guys alone, and yeah, I've got to carry on with the video.
And I'm back to sitting.
Cool.
Back to sitting.
Ciao.
Ciao.
So this week's sponsor is REOLINK, and it kind of fits in really well with the theme of this week's video, because REOLINK makes security cameras, and over the last couple of years they've given us a whole bunch of their different cameras. Every year they send us new and amazing ones, and this one is no different. This one is basically called the REOLINK Argus Pro 4, and as you can see right now, it's a camera with a very, very wide angle lens. Now I've just got this camera up here on our little outdoor sofa, and as you can see, it's got two lenses, one on either side. It's also got little LED lights, little LED spotlights on the front and on the sides, and then it has its sensor. Now these are f1.0 lenses, so they can actually see in very low light, and that's actually one of the main tricks about this camera. So not only does it have an incredibly wide angle lens, as you can see, I'm all the way on this side of the screen over here, and now I'm all the way on this side of the screen over here. And if you actually look at where I'm standing with the camera, the camera's over there, it's getting a 180-degree field of view. So all the way from the gazebo over there and all the way down in this direction. And for me, that's pretty important, because a lot of the times when I've put cameras up by my front door, those cameras are only looking at one very particular area. So the front door is here. Normally the camera goes up in this corner, and it's usually just looking down in this direction. And because of that, it's only seeing this area. It's not seeing anything else around it. And if there were intruders or animals or whatever that come around the other side, the camera's obviously not going to pick that up. So with a camera like this, I can put it over there and I can get a full 180-degree view going all the way across, all the way down the patio and all the way outside here. And obviously with its 4K recording capabilities, it's very high resolution, so it's a really nice picture quality, so you can actually see lots of detail and stuff like that. Now, as I said earlier, this camera is, it's got little lights on the side, so you've got little spotlights, but it also has that night vision. And with its f1.0 lens, it can basically see in very low light. And it has something called color night vision. And basically all you need for that to work is you need a little bit of starlight, a little bit of moonlight, or maybe a couple of little street lights or something, just very low light in the area. And it can actually see in color at nighttime. Now, a lot of the other cameras that you get out there, they've got night vision, but it works with infrared. So the image is actually black and white. And it can also only see as far as that infrared transmitter can shine. Whereas this can pick up very low levels of light and basically give you, well, an exceptionally good image at nighttime. Right, so this is an example of the night vision. I mean, it's pretty amazing here. We've got some little bulbs. These are little solar bulbs. I don't even know if this is like half a watt or something like that. It's really not that bright. Obviously, I'm looking at the screen here. And on the screen, it looks super bright, but it's pitch dark out here. There's no moon, or anything like that. And yeah, as you can see, we've got full color night vision, but we also have another option, and that's to use the spotlights if everything is pitch dark. And here's an example of what that looks like. So we've got the spotlights on. I think they're set to about 30% brightness right now. They also have an auto adjustment feature, but for the moment we've got them on about 30%. Look, I'm moving back here. I'm probably about 10 meters away from the camera. I'm still visible, and yeah, absolutely amazing. For a solar powered camera, doesn't use infrared, and you've got all of these different options. You've got the covert color version, and you also have the spotlights to show intruders that you've detected them. So yeah, a big thank you to REOLINK for sending me this camera. It's absolutely awesome. It's going to go into my collection of cameras around the farm that help keep us safe. I mean, we've got them all over the place, covering all of the entrances and all around the place. I'm not going to give away where all of our security is, but I can show you like a little bit of footage of different things. We've caught some amazing things. I have a video that's on Facebook. It's on about 3 million views right now, and it was where we caught the meteorite coming over, and it was a couple of weeks ago, and that was just like the most amazing clip. And we've also caught some really amazing like animals and things like that on the farm. Fortunately, we haven't had any burglaries or any burglars or anything like that, but having cameras like this on the farm do make me feel very safe and secure when we go out and about, because I know that I'll get a notification on my phone if anything goes wrong or anything like that. And well, most importantly, REOLINK wanted me to mention that they have a Prime sale on at the moment. I'm going to put a link in the video description at the bottom, and you can basically get some really big discounts. It's Prime Day. I believe they're running the thing between the 10th of July and the 21st of July. So yeah, have a look in the video description. Big thanks to REOLINK, and yeah, let's carry on with the video. So Fernando was just saying that the our trees are full of olives. Yeah, look at that. Eh? We do have a very good year for olives. You can see what Fernanda's doing now. She's actually taking off the little sapling shoots, knocking them off on the ground. It's something that you kind of do because the tree puts energy into growing these, and obviously they're not producing fruit or anything. They're just kind of in the way. So right now, when they're like this, they're very easy to just snap off. And you don't want to cut them off. If you cut them, then apparently they grow back. But if you kind of break them off and they're a bit jagged, then they don't grow back as well. At least that's my understanding of it. Yeah, the sheep are really finding it now. They're getting into the bottom of this field over here. It's just amazing to see. I mean, you know, we've been here for 5 years, and in the middle of summer to have greenery down here is just unheard of. So normally what happens in summer is these fields get cut, they get baled, which we did a couple of weeks back. And then after that, Joaquim comes with a tractor and he prepares the soil. So he basically tills everything, and then he plants corn. And this over here is a field where he's planted some corn. The reason he does that is because this corn is going to grow like really tall and really green without any watering. And it's going to do that in the middle of summer. And then obviously he can bring the sheep in here and they can eat some nice green corn. Now back onto sort of safety and security on a farm. In the summertime, you can't have fields with like tons of grass, you know. This kind of grass is fine, it's still green, it's not really tall, it's not an issue. But if you just like allow a field to go sort of uncut and it's like knee high, waist high, it's a real fire risk. And so, you know, although there isn't really like a security risk in terms of crime, living in rural areas like this can actually be a big problem because, you know, depending on where your farm is and depending on what the neighboring land around your farm looks like, it can be quite dangerous to live there. We're really lucky because our farm is surrounded by a whole bunch of really well tended farms. So all of the fields around here are nicely cut and kept. All the olive trees are nicely pruned. There's no sort of like wild forest or abandoned land or really tall grass just growing out of hand that can catch on fire. And that means that we're actually quite safe in this location from bushfires. Normally at this time of year, every single day we have the fire planes coming over the farm, going to the big dam over there, filling up with water and then extinguishing fires all over the place here in central Portugal. This year's been a bit different because obviously it's like a lot wetter and a lot greener, but that's not going to last for long. You know, this is definitely going to start, like the heat's going to kick in, the heat waves are going to come. We actually already had one of our heat waves. We had our first one of the season where we like reached 40 degrees. It was about, I think it was about a week ago or so. And actually, speaking of which, I did actually get to fill up our pool. There we go. The summer of 2024 has officially begun for me now. Now we've got a nice place to cool off on the farm. It's going to take a while to fill this up. We're looking at about 6,500 litres of water. Yeah, after filling up the pool, we had the weather kind of dropped. We had that sort of 40-degree heat, and then it dropped, and then it actually rained for a couple of days, which is why we're all green right now. And yeah, it's going to start to get warmer, but to be truthful, I haven't even been in the pool yet. Oh, look at this one over here. You can see this sheep. This is different. You can see the other ones. They've got a slightly different shaped head and everything. This one's a lot more chunky. This, I believe, is a male, and those over there are not udders. Those are definitely not udders. He's a lucky boy here. Look at him. He's a nice big ram, and he's got all of these ladies all to himself. Eh? What a lucky guy. Something else that I think is really important for you know, being safe and secure, like on a farm out in Portugal, is you know, is to obviously get to know exactly who all of your neighbors are, get to know who like the community is, build relationships with them, you know, because then you're going to have people that are going to be looking out for you, and they're going to be telling you like if they see something wrong. You know, it's quite often like if I see something dodgy going on or whatever, I'll tell Joaquim, or something's happened with one of his sheep or whatever, and you know, and you build up friendships and relationships like that, and you have people that are going to help you and look out for you in case stuff goes wrong. Oh, it's been a long time since I've had sheep on the farm. There's something so soothing about just standing around with these animals, especially when they're all calm like this. They've kind of gotten used to the fact that I'm not a predator and coming after them, because sometimes when you approach them at like the fence or something, they'll all scatter. But yeah, it's a really nice, calm, peaceful vibe standing here with these sheep. And it's actually amazing just how noisy it is when they eat. They're like really tearing at the grass. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but like, jeez, they like really tear at it. Eh? Amazing. Now, after the sheep have eaten all of the grasses and stuff, Joaquim's going to come and till it, just like this field over here. So he's going to bring the tractor, he's going to bring the tiller. After it's tilled, he's going to plant the corn. You can actually see there's some of the corn is popping up on this field over here. And he likes to stagger it so that different fields have got different levels of growth, you know, so obviously he can put the sheep on at different times in the summer. Hey guys, it's Wednesday, I have no idea, of July. The 8th or the 9th? The 8th, 9th or 10th, okay. Yeah. And it's 9:43 in the morning, and we're on our way into Fundão. We're going to go to our very last Portuguese language lesson. It's actually not a lesson, today's the day that we pick up our results. And because we've done our last test, so we've done A1 and A2. And that basically, like this test basically allows us to get our citizenship. Because when you apply for Portuguese citizenship, you have to sit like an A1 and A2 test. Now, because we've done this test officially through a school, we won't have to do that test in Lisbon. So that's a big relief.
Yeah, because it's difficult.
It's super difficult, yeah. So anyway, we'll check in a bit and let you know how it's gone. Hopefully we've passed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I'm here with Joanna.
Hello.
And,
Hola.
Hola. Yeah, and basically she's just told me that Gina and I have passed our A1 and A2. So we've done a 6-month course here in Fundão. And I just wanted to do a little shout out to, to you. You're an excellent teacher.
Thank you so much.
And,
Obrigada.
And if you guys want to sign up to this course, it's basically like a government course, right? It gives you proper certification.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the school is, what is the name of the school?
Agrupamento de Escolas do Fundão.
Okay.
Okay.
And how do people sign up for this course?
They have to come to Centro Qualifica and they have to talk to Cristina, Monica or Professor Jorge.
Okay.
Okay.
I will put...
Or you can call here to school.
Yeah, well, let me put the contact details up on the screen.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an awesome course.
Obrigada.
And she's an absolutely amazing teacher.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Obrigada.
you, Joanna.
Okay.
So we are about to pop off.
Pop off.
Where are we going to pop off? Is that like in England? Pop off is like something bad's going to happen.
We're going to fart.
Yeah. No. We're definitely not going to fight.
Fart.
Oh, fart. Oh, I thought you said fight. Okay. Yeah, no, we are going to head down to Cravo Cafe. We're going to get ourselves an ice cold drink and we're going to celebrate a little bit of our A1 and A2 pass. Yeah, come with us. Oh yeah, what a beautiful day. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, it's like super humid and hot today. And, oh look, it's Rapazot. Yeah, super humid and hot. And a perfect day to be on a bike because you've got all that air blowing past you. It's kind of like like a natural air conditioning. So we're pretty lucky. We've got this place in the background here called Cravo Cafe. It's kind of like our local, like our local pub. It's like an Irish pub in the middle of the countryside, and it's pretty awesome. So we're going to go and have a beer. All right, so we're going to have our celebratory drink. Yay! And yeah, we're going to end the video here. So thanks for watching, everyone, and tune in next week for another episode of Portugal Farm Life. Bye. Cheers. Bye.